My name's Chris Puckett. I talk about video games. Vegas is one of my favorite cities to visit, and I am so excited we're having the awards here. I'm only 37, so when I saw I was earning a Lifetime Achievement Award, it was mind-blowing. Honestly though, I've been nominated 5 times for different positions at the Esports Awards, and I still don't have a trophy, so if this is how I go about getting my first one, I'm all for it. Oh, I love this class. I mean, you got Odie, one of the OGs from the UK, who has been building Dignitas brands and other teams since the beginning of time. We have Crim6, the greatest console player of all time, passing Ogre 2 with what he was able to do in Call of Duty. And then Rafa. I mean, I grew up watching some of the greatest Quake players, and there's no one better than Rafa. So I think those 3 people alone, I am super excited just to hug and see in person, despite everyone else who's being here. Yeah, favorite event all time was probably the first event that I ran for Major League Gaming. At 17 years old, I was cocky enough to think we could do 32 stations of Halo 1. My dad was reffing 5 stations. I had my brother helping out at some point. And at the end of the 3 days, we crowned our champions and we dished out the biggest check in Halo 1 history at the time with the most teams in attendance. So I think I was just a little bit lucky to start off with success, and that was what gave me the boost to pursue this career. Yeah, at this point, I feel like you can put any game on and I'll be able to talk about it and at least add some entertainment. I think one of my keys to commentating has been put the focus on the player. So get to know the people. It's not just the person in game. You got to talk about the person who's been putting the time, the energy, the focus before the matches. So I've always enjoyed taking that approach to get to know the people. When it came to the game though, I think the hardest transition I had was coming from the Halo franchise to the Call of Duty franchise after never playing Call of Duty. Fortunately, the first game was Black Ops 2, arguably the greatest Call of Duty in the history of the franchise. But it took me 3 solid months of playing, and I was playing at the beginning with people of my skill range, and then eventually was trying to get in those pro lobbies to learn the callouts, to learn the perfect strategies. And a big shout out to guys like Rambo, Big Timer, everyone at Optic Gaming, Nadeshot, who would bring me in and kind of teach me in those early days. Favorite game I've worked on? Oh, it's gotta be Halo 1, because that's the game I was decent at. Outside of Halo 1, it's Shadowrun, one of the coolest games of all time. You could teleport 10 meters in any direction, and that just changed the whole idea of FPS games. It was, I guess, groundbreaking at the time, and the only reason it didn't survive is it got launched at the same time as Halo 3, and Microsoft gave Halo 3 all the marketing money. I think a lot of people just expect instant success. You really do have to put in the time. You have to do your homework. You have to put in the prep, and then most importantly, you have to be fluid. On the fly, you don't know what's coming your way. So I think I've always been able to handle those hurdles, handle those big issues pretty calmly, collected, and made a joke out of it if needed. So I think that's been the key, is just no big mistakes and don't say the wrong thing on a microphone. I thought 2006 was the greatest year in esports history. 2008 hit, and I thought with the economy, esports was going away. We were never gonna see competition with video games again. Instead though, people rallied behind it. And I think when we see the economy downturn, people have more time to maybe put into things like their hobbies. And we saw that throughout COVID, everyone was gaming. It's no surprise that that bubble popped, right? We were overinflated, we were bringing in money, we were hiring content creators left and right with no idea of where we're gonna turn profit. I feel like right now, things are kind of balancing out. Is it a little more aggressive than I expected? Yes, but this is not the coldest esports winter we've seen. Be patient, we'll come back around. I still have every bit as much passion as I did on day one. I still get so excited when I see a great play. And I feel like every time I show up to work, we're still evolving our craft. We're still perfecting the product, and we're not done yet. So I'm not done working. Yeah, I gotta say a big shout out to all the ladies in the industry. I am now the father of a little girl who's coming up on 2 years old. She's really interested in my controller. She likes to take my keyboard and mouse, and it's only a matter of time before she's competing. So thank you to folks like Alley Cat creating women's only communities to compete in. Thank you to Sapphire, all of the OGs who have been paving the way in esports since day one and continue to build on it today.